What is going on, guys? This is Damien Tangra, and you're watching the very first episode of the Mad Scientist Podcasts. And today, I have a very special edition for you. For my very first episode, it's something new that I'm trying out. We are going to have a watch along slash breakdown slash review of the match between John Cena and Daniel Bryan from Summerslam 2013 for the WWE Championship. Of course, this video is all about entertainment, so all the copyright goes to the WWE. I'm watching it all on the WWE network, and I am going to start watching at 2 hours and 3 minutes. Again, 2 hours and 3 minutes. That's my mark. It includes the promotional video package before the match to get everybody into knowing exactly, remembering what the storyline was. So, without any further ado, I'm going to start watching in 3, 2, 1. And I'll turn the sound off right now. So, there will be no sound, but I'll do commentary. And pretty much the idea will be that I'm going to do a breakdown just like the breakdowns that we do at the WWE 4 with our trainer, Air Fox. It is going to be more of a wrestling breakdown, kind of like a tape study. So we're going to focus on the moves. We're going to focus on the positioning, the pacing of the matches, particularly this match tonight. We're going to focus on the way they build a match and the spots that they put in it and why they do all that. What's the story leading to the match? Maybe the story after the match, and the match itself, what's the story within the match? So, of course, right now we're watching the video of Daniel Bryan being chosen to be John Cena's, competitor and rival for SummerSlam. John Cena chose him, so it's a good way to introduce two baby faces. Babyface versus babyface matches are always a little bit tricky to pull off, but Cena being very respectful, being very honest, being a fighting champion, he chose Daniel Bryan. That's the story. He chose Daniel Bryan to be his next title defense for the WWE Championship. John Cena back then was just 11-time world champion. Daniel Bryan hasn't held the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship yet. So he wasn't a WWE champion. So we have the storyline of how kind of when you come from the independent circuit, how WWE is trying to teach you their own style. And I really like how they were like playing with all the rumors online, with everything, with the dirt sheets and everything. That's really smart by WWE. They're really like blurring the lines between reality and rumors, and that was very nice, in my opinion. It was original at that point. Of course, we saw the fact that Vince McMahon, the character Vince McMahon, he wanted to kind of like make Daniel Bryan more of a WWE superstar, and Daniel Bryan refused to do that. Refuses to get his beard cut, his haircut. And that, in a way, is also what John Cena is. John Cena is, of course, he's a WWE champion. He's the face of WWE, arguably one of the best WWE wrestlers, superstars ever. But at one point, he was kind of like Daniel Bryan. That's why I like the story so much, because they're so close and they're so different. I think that John Cena in the storyline, you can see a lot of John Cena in Daniel Bryan. And also, the character of John Cena is kind of like what happens with you when you become the franchise. What happens when you used to be the underdog, used to be the person that was rapping, you can't see me, and you were the coolest wrestler on the roster. But now, because we have seen so much of you, and the WWE Universe has seen so much of John Cena, they're just used to him at that point. So they want a change. They want a new face. And I think Cena's embracing that to some point. but he wants to make Daniel Bryan bring it. That's the story. John Cena is the franchise. Daniel Bryan is the up and comer. They're both good guys. They're both baby faces. But we need some kind of conflict. So the conflict there is John Cena being the franchise. How hungry is he? Can he still stay at the top even though he has won so many main events, so many championships, always delivers under pressure? I really love the promo that they have right now with Bryan mentioning an old Japanese wrestling ritual where you slap each other during the match, before the match, just to get the fire out of the guy. And he said that John Cena does not deserve to be slapped because, according to Bryan, he's not a wrestler. He's not a pure wrestler. He doesn't deserve that. So I think that was like one of the best Daniel Bryan promos up to that point. And of course, after that, with his eco-friendly character, with the yes movement, we know, I don't want to spoil anything, but we know where this story will go. I really like what they did with Bryan, the long-term storytelling that the WWE did, and how his character evolved. He was incredible good guy, probably one of the best baby faces in the past 10 years, if not the best one. Also a very, very good heel, a very, very good bad guy. And he has really improved a lot. Some people say Daniel Bryan is not the best promo guy, not the best on microphone. That really held him back from for a while. But I really think that up to this point and after this match, Daniel Bryan started really, really coming in a league of his own. And I think he got used to the WWE style. He was giving the ball, and he kept running. And right now we're seeing, of course, his entrance, the shirt that he has. It says the beard is here, kind of like a parody of John Cena, the champ is here. There's a kid with a beard. I like that. They were selling the beard as a merchandise. That's pretty clever by WWE. Yeah, Daniel Bryan was so hot. So hot at that point. The most over wrestler on the roster, definitely. The yes chants, they were going on. They weren't as big as leading to WrestleMania, of course, but I think there was definitely WWE knew what they were getting themselves into, and maybe this, I don't know if they have set up their minds on if they should go with Bryan or not yet, but I think that definitely after this match, they knew that Bryan is the guy. So, Daniel Bryan has made his entrance. Now it's time for the champion, Mr. Main Event, John Cena. He's making his way out. Of course, he is going to have the champ is here shirt. Again, maybe a subtle way to show that both of them are very similar, yet very different. I like how, even though Cena's entrances are similar, he has his own style of entering the ring and doing his poses and everything. There's always like a tiny bit, like 5% that is different. And I really like that about him. There might be, there's always something different, which I really enjoy. Of course, that big camera angle showing everybody in the crowd. I assume it's a sold out arena. Summerslam, yeah. And we have the old WWE Championship design with the old logo, kind of like the scratchy logo. Which that was a very, very nice change from the Spinner Championship. But I think that the new design with the network logo, which later became the WWE logo, is a little bit better because it's more in the center, more in the middle, and you can see the entire logo. With this one, it seemed like you can't see the entire logo, so it kind of looked like it was cut in a rather odd way. Of course, the John Cena side plays. You can't see me. Triple H. Actually, the referee, I didn't. I think I noticed that, but I had forgotten about that because Brad Maddox had a very fast count for the previous match that Bryan had against Wade Barrett. And Triple H, of course, he'll count it down the middle. He is honest. He wants to see who will is John Cena going to remain the franchise? Is he going to remain the face of the WWE, or is Daniel Bryan going to dethrone him? So he's going to call everything down the middle, and let's see how everything goes. We can see how they're really taking their time. It's the main event of SummerSlam, the second biggest WWE pay-per-view after WrestleMania. So they're really taking their time, but they don't need to rush anything. Not yet, at least. Of course, WWE, the WWE style of wrestling, depending on the match, of course, is known for you have to kick in another gear. So at some point, you're going to see him running and flying and doing all sorts of crazy stuff, but they don't need to go there yet. So I assume they're going to start really slow. Johnson actually having an injured elbow there, kind of like tennis elbow. His elbow was swollen. There you go. Now they're going back and forth with chaining. The story of the match, we'll see how it unfolds, but I believe is Daniel Bryan, which follows the story of their feud. Daniel Bryan is supposed to be the better wrestler, better chaining wrestler, technical wrestler. Even arguably has the same amount of experience like Cena or even more. So Daniel Bryan's supposed to be the better wrestler, better technique, but Cena is more powerful. He delivers under pressure. He's Mr. Main Event. He is the champion. He is the franchise. We have the newcomer in the face of Bryan versus the franchise in the face of John Cena. So, see how John Cena is so good in controlling the crowd. He's like stopping. The crowd is chanting, I believe, you can't wrestle. And he's just playing off with them, trying to get the crowd involved. What are they chanting for? For me or Bryan? Like, what's going on here? Of course, he knows what he's doing. He's so good at reading the crowd and getting everybody involved and having a nice storytelling in the match. Okay, trips Bryan. That's a nice spot. So, yep. Bryan does the bridge. So jumps on top of him. There we go. No, it's not working. Second time, no. Bryan's not gonna fall. Oh, and then Bryan tricks him. There we go. That's like the more technical experience. And Bryan's going for his bell lock, his submission move, but no. Cena actually polished to the outside, which we don't see very often. Shaking on his elbow. I'm pretty sure that's going to play into the storyline, and he legit had a elbow injury, but being John Cena, he just fought through it as the soldier that he is. Anyway, we have a dream match in a way, not only within the limits of the WWE, but also outside of WWE. What I mean by that is Daniel Bryan's character in the WWE and John Cena's character in the WWE. It's like a dream match, WWE Championship match. Can Bryan dethrone John Cena? That's one thing at hand. Another thing is Daniel Bryan coming from independence as Bryan Danielson. Can he adapt to WWE? We've seen a lot of independent people, independent wrestlers go to WWE and not be as successful as they were on the independent level. So the question here is, can Daniel Bryan adapt to the WWE style, and can he actually defeat the face of the WWE style, which is John Cena? Okay, there we're going back and forth again. Similar spot to the one with the bridge. Again, another bridge. Daniel Bryan's going for a pin. Slide. Okay. John Cena gets up. Now he's going for Dragon Screw in. There we go. That's very nice. We see some of those sequences that a lot of people say some negative things about Cena and his style of wrestling, but I think that in recent years, probably a little bit after this match, and this match, of course, he has started embracing the independent style. We see a lot of guys from the independent scene coming to WWE, and John Cena has really switched up his moves and just the way he is open to sequences. So we were shown that Cena is the powerhouse in this match. He pushed Bryan with his legs. That gets you 2 points established. Daniel Bryan is more technical. Cena's more powerful. So let's see how this will match. We had the John Cena powder out from the ring. Now Bryan is outside, and Cena pushed Bryan outside. In a way, it can be he doesn't belong with him in the ring. It's the main event ring. I don't know. That's maybe a little subtle thing. Now Bryan pushing Cena into the steel steps. Cena takes those steel steps almost like nobody. Roman takes them really good. Cena does as well. That's really nice. So Bryan is in control again. It is very difficult to have a match that's babyface versus babyface. So I assume that later on in the match we're gonna have probably Cena be the aggressor. Oh, big suplex, nice, to the floor outside of the ring from the steps. That probably took Bryan's breath away. Yeah, very impactful move. Definitely, I was going to say that probably one of the guys will be the aggressor, which means they'll act more as a heel, but not a fully heel. And I assume that will be Cena, because the entire crowd was going against Bryan. So I assume that the suplex was the cutoff. We had kind of like a fake cutoff when Cena pushed Bryan and he fell outside the ring. Then Bryan got in control again, and now, yes, to me it seems like that was the cutoff. See how Bryan's taking his time. Now his focus is on just selling. Cena, of course, trying to keep it very close to him, not giving him big range. And they're taking their time. We see a heart buckle. Bryan's just selling facial expressions. His face is not all the way down. That's why that's something that we're always being told. You have to have your face up, especially when you have a bunch of cameras and you're in a big production team, just like WWE. You have to have your face up because that's your emotion. That's how you connect with the crowd. That's how you connect with the fans watching. You have to have your face up. And Bryan is just selling. Johnson is in full control. Wow. Actually, okay, powerbomb, kind of like Batista bomb style. And that just count of 2.3, I guess. With the pinfalls in a wrestling match, you have to be careful also. Daniel Bryan kicked out at it wasn't 2.5, but it was a little bit after 2. I think that's very smart because where are you gonna take it if you kick out at 2.5 or 2.5? Where are you gonna take it after that? That's like the near fall, almost a fall, or that's the finish. So him kicking out a little bit after 2 leaves him a little bit of range between. Okay, next time he can kick out at 2.3, 2.5, almost 3, and then I assume the finish. But if you kick out at 2.5 right in the beginning, you don't leave yourself much of room to play with. Now Bryan coming back and the kicks, strikes. You see everybody's chanting the yes. Johnson is just taking this, beating. Bryan has such a good fire, and I assume that Cena's gonna stop him. Yes, he's working the midsection. What it looks like so far. Power bomb, knee. Oh, Bryan, beautiful evasion. What is going now for a nice big flying clothesline, and you can see just the expression of Daniel Bryan changes so much. He's not doing like the clap thing that a lot of people do. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I kind of like what Sheamus does. Kind of like gets everybody like to clap and to go stand behind him and cheer for them. But he does that with his body language. Kind of like Ricochet kind of does that, where it's like just their body language and like they're expecting you to cheer for them. Now the Daniel Bryan kicks, of course. Is he going to connect the big kick? I don't think so. See, Cena was looking at him. And Cena's comeback. That was pretty nice. It was a comeback into a comeback. Elbows, there, not elbows, shoulder tackles. There we go, big slam by John Cena. And you know what time it is. See, his posture, he took a little bit of time to, right after the big slam, he wasn't like all the way up. He took a little bit of time to show that he was hurt. He's like 80% now. He's not like 100% since the beginning. Oh, there we go. He took some time, maybe underestimating Bryan, and Bryan kicked him. I like that. I like when the first time the "you can't see me" does not connect, because it's a move that requires your opponent to be very, very tired. I think. There we go, another one. So that's kind of like reminds me of a Ring of Honor kind of style, how they tease their moves, they blend them in. So Cena now not losing any time, connects with a five knuckle shuffle. You can't see me. People seem like they're booing it, which that's what you get when it's franchise. He sets up the AA, and Daniel Bryan, okay, he flips up on his feet. Cena's chasing him. He showed that he was going to hit him. He wasn't just like running with nothing. Because if you connect, how do you connect? You just headbutt him? What's going on there? So he was like showing something. It didn't connect. Daniel Bryan now with missile drop kick kind of takes over the control of the match. And Cena now. See, it's later in the match. Daniel Bryan inflicted some damage on Cena. Oh, we can see a little shiner under John Cena's eye. Daniel Bryan's physical. They're both very physical. Daniel Bryan has a lot of strikes, so I guess he connected pretty good under John Cena's left eye, I believe. And now Cena's taking his time. Daniel Bryan's in control. They switched. So I guess Bryan will... Okay, now he's targeting the left arm, the injured elbow, shoulder too. And probably that will be his aim for his submission. And the yes kicks or Daniel Bryan kicks are now just targeting John Cena's left arm, which is very smart. I assume that he'll connect with the last one. We'll see. But again, they're taking their time. See how they went up with the urgency and the movement and the speed and everything. They were talking for a second. And now they're bringing it down. It seems like now Daniel Bryan is the aggressor and John Cena's taking the heat. Cena was working the midsection of Bryan. Bryan's now working the left arm, shoulder, elbow of Cena, setting up for the submission, which makes a lot of sense. Makes the submission. Even though John Cena does not submit often, I don't think I've seen him submit I know to Angle, I believe. I haven't seen him submit many times. Maybe like 2-3 times at most. So submitting him will be definitely huge. But they're gonna get there. Very methodical, slow paced. They're telling the story. John Cena taking his time selling. Okay, there we go. John Cena with a nice trip. He's technical as well. He's trying to set up the STF, but no, Bryan is... Okay, Bryan now, maybe he's setting up the STF. Okay, Bryan's stealing John Cena's move. So nice. That's very nice storytelling. It's kind of like Bryan is showing him that he can beat him in his own game, in his own moveset. Usually when you're in a fight, you want to play with your strengths. And that's a very interesting thing, interesting message that Bryan kind of has with this maneuver, that it might be better in using John Cena's own moves. So that's very nice. I like the storytelling in this match. That's why I chose this match to be my first watch-along breakdown. Let's see now. Daniel Bryan actually catching the leg. That was so nice. Beautiful variation of German suplex. And he keeps holding. He keeps holding. It shows you that he's always 2 steps ahead. And beautiful bridge. I always enjoy the suplexes with nice bridges after that for a pin. And going for a third one. Cena's powering out, but he's tired. See, it takes a lot from him to do that. And now, okay, Bryan actually hooked his label lock on the left side. John Cena's injured arm, the hurt arm. Okay, John Cena actually thinking about tapping out. I thought that they might, when they started the match, they teased a little takedown by Bryan. I thought that maybe they will just have Cena down this time, so it's kind of like levels to the submission, where it's like the first time they'll just show that he's going for it, third time he's going to bring him down, but Cena's going to get out. But they just chose to do one tease, I believe, and then he just went for it. And but Bryan now, Cena, again, show the story. I like the story of this match so much. Again, Cena battled out of the label lock, but Bryan caught him with the guillotine, and now John Cena's down again. In a submission, guillotine, his head is turning purple, which I'm pretty sure that Bryan put a good amount of pressure on him. His when you get in a match as hyped as this, it gets physical. It gets physical. It's not ballet. You can see how they get bruised, and it's a physical match. So let's see now. Guillotine. Cena pushes him to the ropes. Bryan still holds though. I like that. We're shown two things here. John Cena is not willing to give up. He's not willing to give up his position as being. He's gonna go for a suplex. Oh, at the buckle, and it connects. We're shown two things. John Cena is not willing to give up his position at the top of the WWE, and also Daniel Bryan's not giving up his hold, which also means he's chasing him. He's chasing him, and if it took some person just to be like pushed to the turnbuckle and then they let go, that's not Bryan. He's a fighter. Oh, AA out of nowhere. Nice. A lot of people might have thought that's the finish, but no. Daniel Bryan kicks out. Because the guillotine, Cena's down. Bryan was in control up to that. Now it's all leveled up. That's kind of like the point of equalization. It took Cena, the bell lock, the guillotine, to bring him really down, and then one AA to get to the point of equalization. Now we see, just with the body language, the posture, John Cena is higher than Daniel Bryan. Means that he's in control. But he's still selling the neck. He's still selling the arm. He's tired. But it took the AA to kind of bring it back to the same level. They have the same health bar. Cena now going for the flying leg drop. He doesn't do that very often now. Some people argue, why is he going for that when he hit his finisher already? I really like this spot. This spot, I'll tell you what it reminds me. It's really like John Cena being on the top. He's at the turnbuckle. He's on top of the turnbuckle, and Bryan trying to catch up with him at the top. That's so nice. Such a good, like, I don't know if they did it on purpose. I assume they probably did. It's a nice visual of John Cena being on the top and Daniel Bryan, for real, striking, being pushed away, striking again, being pushed down, striking, being kicked, and then he had to kick him to stop him. And in a way, it's a symbol, I think. It's a very, very good visual of Daniel Bryan not giving up his chances, not giving up the fact that he has this one shot. He has to make it count, and he wants to push John Cena off the top, which he did. And what he did also was he held to the top. When he did the suplex, he just stayed there. So now Bryan's going for the flying headbutt. That's a very dangerous move. Nice. Connects. Let's see. And Cena kicked out, but he's exhausted. He's exhausted, and also the fact that he kicked out and rolled out of the ring shows that he's considering Daniel Bryan now a threat. If he had underestimated him, if he thought that one AA will get the job done, that's not the case anymore. Daniel Bryan's dangerous. Cena knows that firsthand. And now Bryan's going for a big dive, suicide drive. Oh, Cena stops him before him. Nice. And see Cena just relaxes. He just chills. His actually his left eye is swelling up. I guess he got hit a couple times. Cena is on the top again. And he goes, woo, for a big leg drop. Nice. Nice. That he cleared probably like half of the ring. Say whatever you want to say about Cena. That's a dangerous move too. It can mess up your back, and I think he messed up his neck one time with Batista. I'm pretty sure when Batista caught him for the power bomb, it messed up his neck. Freak accidents happen, and Bryan kicked out. So, see, Cena's holding the elbow. He's showing the fact that he's hurt. Actually, I think his elbow's getting is swollen up more now. Triple H behind Cena. I don't know if they talked a little bit or not because they changed the camera angle, so we couldn't see very good. Cena now. Okay, what is he gonna take? He did one AA. It wasn't enough. Now he's gonna try to do the elevation AA or the super AA from the turnbuckle. He sets Bryan up, and that's it. I don't think I've seen anybody kick out from that. But Bryan, of course, with the elbows, he's not gonna let Cena do that to him. And the elbows, I'm pretty sure, get the yes reaction. Yes, we can see the crowd chanting. It keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Oh my God, he lays him in good. Wow. And seems like Bryan's gonna go for Rana. Oh, Cena caught him though. Cena caught him. Okay, Cena now. Cena's going for the STF. Nice. That was a good transition. Kind of remind me of Jericho doing the walls of Jericho when they caught him for the power bomb. They go down and just do the walls. That was very nice. Beautiful transition. Man, I really enjoyed the storyline. The story of the match. Cena thought that he can underestimate Bryan. Then 1/3 of the match, we see how technical Bryan is, how he can outmaneuver Cena. Then of course we see the powerhouse that Cena is. Now we see that John Cena is technical too. So he's caught Bryan off guard with that reversal and putting him into the STF. And the STF is now Cena's on his back, on his side in a way, hooking the STF, which is a different angle that we've seen, but it's like that's a realistic move. If you get caught in this move, bad for you. You're gonna be out probably. But Bryan, he's holding to the wrist. Okay, now beautiful transition. So we see how technical Cena was, but we see again that Bryan is like maybe not 2 steps ahead, now just a step ahead. Or now we're just like playing move for move. It's like he's surviving, but he wants to win. He wants to win as well, and I really like that. I like the way their styles mixed together. The powerhouse, the more of an entertainment kind of wrestling that Cena has, embracing the independent style as well. They're mixing up so good together. Again, more damage done to John Cena's left arm, the elbow. We show he's holding the elbow. I don't know how long he can go with that. Triple H calling for a doctor. I think that is actually a good way to kind of like slow down the pace. But Cena was like, I don't need a doctor. So it's a good thing that we showed that, because it shows that Cena is still the babyface. He's a good guy. He wants to continue fighting, even though he's going down just like a soldier, like a knight. He's gonna go down with his shield. Boom! Big clothesline by Cena. Bryan was going for his drop kicks from the turnbuckle. Of course, John Cena has one of the best clotheslines in my opinion. He lays it in pretty good. Turns Bryan inside out. That is their double down. They both are down. Nobody's in control. They're probably going to start from very similar, if not same, health bars. But it goes to show that Bryan had to kick Cena twice with drop kicks. And then just one clothesline from the bigger guy, from the more powerful guy, from John Cena, equals the same power as the 2 drop kicks that Bryan gave him already. So they're both getting up almost at the same time. Cena landed the last shot, so he's gonna be up a little bit before Bryan. There we go. And now I believe they're going to the strike off. Nice. Cena actually kicks. I remember that. That's nice though. I like that, even though sometimes he might not look as sharp as like a kickboxer or a specialist in whatever he's doing. He's willing to do it. He's willing to try, and that's nice. Ooh! Cena was going for the shoulder tackle, and Bryan, I think, was going for a flying headbutt or a flying forearm. They caught themselves. It's kind of like the equivalent of the crossbody when you jump and they're caught in the middle. Oh, I think Cena was going for the shoulder tackle, and Bryan caught him with a forearm. But they're both down. So they had double down from bringing the pace down. They had a strike off into a double down, and now they're getting back up at the same time. And I'm pretty sure they're talking. Cena's probably telling Bryan what they're gonna do next. He's so good with calling matches and filling the crowd and everything. They're dangling. They're tired. They're exhausted, but they both want to win. Oh, Cena slapped Bryan. Remember that promo I was telling you about? How Bryan said that Cena does not deserve the slap, but now he slapped him. And they're going with slaps, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's kind of like a Japanese match when it's like you got to show your fighting spirit. That's cool. That's cool. It's a progression of the story before the match and in the match. Because remember what Bryan was saying? Cena's got to catch Bryan for the A from his evasion. Nice. I forgot about that. That's such a good sequence. I think that... No! Ooh! Bryan reversed into a DDT. That was so nice. I was telling you how Bryan did not say... Bryan said that Cena does not deserve to be slapped because he does not think that he's a wrestler. But now when he stepped in the ring with him, I guess he changed his mind and he deserved to be slapped. So even though it's disrespectful in a way, in Japanese culture, it's you show respect somehow, and you show that you want to keep on going, you want to fire up. It's like when they give you the best shot and they're like, come on, do it again. That's what I did. Beautiful sequence. They start very slow from the double down, escalate quickly, kind of like WWE style. Bryan going for a flying headbutt again. Cena just caught him, and that will be it. He caught him for the AA. He took a little bit longer, so I am not sure if he's going to connect or not. Yes, there you go. Big pin from Bryan. Kicked out by Cena. Bryan goes for a big kick, connects with the last kick from his signature kicks. A head kick. He actually went for it twice. He connected the second time. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he's going to go for the knee. The entire crowd is into the match. Everybody's chanting, yes. Cena's going away. Oh, big knee. And that might be it. 1, 2, 3. Daniel Bryan's the WWE champion. What a match. What a match. The reaction on Daniel Bryan's face is incredible. Reminds me of Shawn Michaels in a way. Reminds me of Shawn Michaels on his knees, getting the championship, Triple H. I actually quoted down the middle. There we go. The crowd is going crazy. Triple H, he can't hide his smile. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Triple H seems like he really, really enjoyed being part of this match and being in the ring with them. And there was no referee spots, no referee bumps, nothing like that. It was actually a clean match. And I'm pretty sure he said something to Bryan there. It's like, probably good job, and yeah, you effing killed it, whatever. Cena just taking the loss as the man that he is, man of his word, man of honor. Bryan celebrating, and Cena's all the way back up. I don't know how I feel about the fact that Cena's posture is all the way up, because during the match he was kind of like a little bit down. Now he's all the way up. That's his choice. The match is over though, so it took 3 seconds to win, so it's his choice. We can see the bruises in Cena's face. He's congratulating Bryan now. Wow, such a match, man. I really enjoyed watching this match. I wasn't sure if Bryan was going to win, but it had such a good story. Cena chose him. He kind of, in a way, passed the torch to Bryan. Triple H going down the middle. What a champion's move, just to like shake the person's hand, and he left the ring for Bryan. I don't know if you noticed, Triple H because of the way the cameras were set up. Uh, Maybe they were told that they have to turn around, so he kind of grabbed Bryan by his waist and was like, "Okay, let's go this way." Or like, I need to raise your hand or something, because they need to get those shots. They need to get the pictures. They need to get the confetti. There you go, Summerslam. It's a very nice visual. So, yeah, it's the perfect way to end the show with a confetti. Reminds me of Eddie winning the championship. A lot of the baby faces that had to fight from under to win the big titles. And WWE, pyros, there you go. It seems like Bryan is surprised. I don't think they told him that there will be pyros. And now Triple H is talking to him. He's saying something in his ear. Bryan is happy and everything. Triple H ecstatic. And you know when he's like, he doesn't show happiness as much as the others. He's more of a badass character. There might be something to it. There might be something to it. Seems like this is going to be the finish of the show. And, oh snap. Randy Orton's music hits. He has the Money in the Bank briefcase. Daniel Bryan's thinking, what the hell's going on? Orton, being the Viper that he is, he's just there waiting. Is he going to cash in? Is that just a tease? It's just a tease. He just wants to show Bryan, alright, you beat Cena, you can't beat me though. Or even if you think you do, it's going to be my match, my terms, whatever. Bryan's like, let's do it. He's a fighting champion now. He wants to fight him right now. Let's do it. Come on. After a long match with Cena, 20-plus minute match, technical match, physical match. Okay, seems like that was just a tease. Randy Orton's leaving. Nice. Bryan stood his ground. He's not afraid of Orton. But see what's going on. Triple H is behind Bryan. Bryan is... You see that shot? That's such a nice shot. Randy Orton, Bryan celebrating, Triple H behind him. We're going to see what's going to happen next. Orton seems like he's changing his mind. And the backstabbing Triple H. What the hell? Pedigree. Bryan is down. Orton's coming back. Everybody has been swerved. Confetti, pyros. You thought the pay-per-view was over. Nope. Randy Orton has the briefcase. They have a moment of look between him and Triple H. It was all set up. They didn't care about who wins, Cena or Bryan. They knew Randy Orton's going to be the face of WWE, the champion. A little bit of evolution, memory lane there. And pedigree, Daniel Bryan, 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton did not even hit his RKO or the punt kick. And just like that, the WWE Universe, the fans were giving a little glimpse of what if Daniel Bryan's a champion, and then they got it taken away from Randy Orton, Triple H. The Authority being created. Yeah. And Triple H does the thing on the Randy Orton's stomach, just like the old days in the Evolution when Randy Orton was the young up-and-comer, the Intercontinental Champion and all that. Yeah, what a way to close the show. It's a bummer. It was supposed to be, not supposed to be, but it looked like it was going to be a few good show, but it's not. But we know what's going to follow after all this, a big, long storyline up until WrestleMania, where in the end Daniel Bryan will be the WWE Champion with 2 titles, actually. The World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship. It's going to be the undisputed champion. Defeating Evolution the same night. Triple H, then going to defeat Batista and Randy Orton. Such a good storyline. It's such a good storyline, long-term storyline. That was nice. And arguably that was the start of, not start, but that was the start of the longer storyline with the Authority and all that. But man, Daniel Bryan can go. And that was such a nice match. Daniel Bryan versus John Cena, Summerslam 2013, with the little bit of a swerve in the end by Randy Orton, Triple H. Very good storytelling by WWE, John Cena and everybody involved. And I'm gonna stop it right here. This was the first episode of the Mad Scientist podcast, Mad Scientist Breakdown. So if you liked it, leave a comment, thumbs up, please. If you have any suggestions about any matches that you will want to see like that, send me a message or leave it your suggestions in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching my breakdown, and hope that you enjoyed it. So be safe. Have a wonderful day.